All right, hello everyone. My name is Disc. I'm a title-holding Disc Priest from Season 1 of The War Within, and I'm here to help you become your group's hero. So I wanted to start this key. I didn't have enough handle on the video, so we're just kind of pausing the video. I wanted to update my macro that I've been using with you guys. It's a method I've been using for a while, but with Radiance and Evangelism, we really want it to hit the tank 99% of the time because they are the ones most likely in range of the full party. And before I was doing it manually, just copying the tank's name, putting it into a macro. But thanks to a viewer, Patrick, he had this great idea to help me with some of the information I was missing. But you can have a macro to insert a name into a macro as easy as just one click. Makes it a lot easier, makes this method a lot more easy to use and approach. But we're going to want two macros. One macro, you want to name it tank healing. And then your second macro, you want it just like this. So I have one native and then one through click casting, but you can have these both native if you want. I just thought click casting was better. I have it set to mouseover. You could also set it just to target. But if you have any questions about how to do this, it took me a couple minutes to set up, but hopefully with just passing you this information, it's as easy as copy paste. But if you have any problems with this, let me know. I can help you troubleshoot. But again, the reason is we want our AoE healing to fire off the tank because it's most likely to atone the full party every time. So it's 99% of the time. I'd say 1% of the time you still want to radiance a specific person, but this macro kind of takes the work out of casting the spell. You never have to think about directing it onto someone. You just press it as part of your rotation, and casting it on the tank is always going to be a better option than casting it on yourself. But that's just food for thought. I think that's my approach. Makes it pretty easy to do, kind of foolproof, and takes a lot of the work out of these spells. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and clip over to the key. All right, here we go. So with this key, my damage was, I'll flash it on screen here, but at the end it was 41,000 and change. Pretty good. Our torments are on top when you add them all up. Our dots are major, focusing on dot spread, and then playing the Rift on cooldown. I'm still playing Voidweaver, sue me. I tried Oracle, it is just boring as hell. So I'm playing Voidweaver for now. And I'm also playing Mass Dispel, trying to be a little bit better of a healer rather than Holy Nova. This front area we do have a good Mass Dispel. So anyway, opening with Evangelism, straight into my Rift window. There was my Mass Dispel when 4 dots were out. Switching my targets for my penance to keep my dots up. Dropping the Void Shield at a 10 stack. And with all this haste, we're getting a lot of extra torments because our Mind Blast because of our Mind Blast. And this was an IO key for me. I've ran it a couple times. It took me a while to learn the fights, and I can't say I fully know them, but I know them better. And I think in watching this video, hopefully I will learn a little bit more, and then hopefully you'll learn some too. Okay, so my first thought here is get 1 or 2 dots out. My Radiance, straight into my Mind Blast. Making sure I get 3 Void Blasts. We have Magic Dispels. So I played my defensives and then I dispelled the other person. Looks like it was still eating me alive. Okay, holding spells. Got a free pet off that death, so that's nice. In my last video I talked about taking the triple death talent, but I'm not doing that. I think it actually is better to play the Searing Penance, because every tick of the penance does return as healing. And I just think, especially if I'm going to play Voidweaver, let's try and play it right. Okay, so Evangelism on the rip. Mind Blast, Penance to my death, getting my torments. Got 2 torments there with 2 pets out at once. Pretty nice. Into another Rift. And I think I have some good ones, but also some bad ones in here. But we have to make sure we cancel our rift before mobs die. So far, not a problem. I think this is kind of a hard key. I'm sure I could do it again next time around. It did take me a while to learn it. As far as my approach to playing WoW, I learned from just doing it. I can learn some by watching others or reading guides, but I like to just do it and get reps and, you know, get better and better. So that was an early collapse, a forced collapse for the damage and healing grab before the mobs died. Okay, what do we got? Nothing yet. Let's see how I play this. But yeah, I was holding for the Evangelism. So here you have Evangelism. I was a couple seconds away. I opted to hold. So someone in my comments said, why are you playing Evangelism? There's nothing to heal. I kind of am looking at it as a DPS button. So, you know, time will tell where I land in the season. Time will tell how things change before the season launches. But I'm kind of trying to play an aggressive DPS 4 disc build. And I don't think it's too bad. I mean, you guys can tell me. I don't think we have 0 deaths here. I think I'm doing just fine. Okay, well, we did have a death there. That was perfect. Cast my shields after the rift's collapse. So when the rift is out, I'm really trying to favor the void blasts. I don't like breaking unless I have to for atonements or shields or maybe a spot heal. But as long as the rift is up, I want to hit those void blasts. And in this room right here, I had to learn the hard way. Got better on this one, but this guy in the middle does a shriek. It's a pretty long AoE attack. Great place for barrier. And then something I'm trying to get better at too is, like, for example, right now I have a void shield and my wheel and woe is at a 10. Every time I cast a penance, it's essentially a little bit of loss. So I've been trying to get better at, if I have a 10 stack, drop it so that my next penance doesn't go to waste. Okay, and then here, I forget exactly what happened, and I actually didn't even see it in the heat of the moment, but we had a mistake towards the end of the fight. Let's see if we can call it. But not too much to worry about here. We have ticking dots. Great place to line up your heals. Here they come. Getting those torments. And in a fight like this, this is a great time to practice keeping your dots active just with your penance. If you can ever help from pressing your keybind for a new dot, the better. So a 2-target cleave fight, you should certainly be able to keep them up just by switching targets. This mechanic I think everyone knows by now, but if you're selected with the big purple arrow, you got to chain in the ghost. 2 torments. Gave myself a fade for the damage reduction. Looks like I'm about to have to switch targets. Let's see if I get it. Yep. And then these do need to die at the same time. So as the healer, certainly that's something that you can focus on, is just making sure you attack a person with less health. Okay, fade again. And if you time it right, you can play a Radiance there to recover some health immediately after the smack. That's what I did there. Okay, I'm getting a little bit far away, and this is where we mess up, I think. Yeah, I'd have to replay that. You're going to have to replay it too. But I think one of the other players missed the mechanic and died. So it went on to me. And I wasn't in position because I assumed they were going to get it. Okay, so we're in a little bit of a predicament here. We have 9% on this guy and the other guy just died. So we have to really zerg this. Okay, I missed my collapse there, but A-okay. Solid recovery. We killed the boss, even with a couple of deaths. Yeah, someone rewatched that. I guess I'm going to rewatch it too, but let me know what happened there. I think it was like the monk, or maybe it was the warlock was selected with the arrow and messed it up. And died. I don't know how the other person died. Maybe it was a range thing. Maybe that was just all my fault. Okay, opening with 2 dots. Generally, I think that's enough. Unless it's a big pull. PI's out. Also critique me, how have I done with my PI uptime? Because I used to have a weak R that would kind of beep at me when it's ready. I was never good at it then anyway. So, you know, I hope we can get back some sort of spell tracking in the future. But right now, really all I'm doing is full send. There was a forced collapse. I know full send isn't the best approach, but I think my focus in these keys right now is just learning. Okay, so this is a nice room for shadow meld. So if you're selected with the fireballs, it's like a channel. You can meld it off. I think I get one. We also have dispels. Good to be on top of those. Ouch, the paladin. Eat shit. Switch targets for my penance. Okay, I'm on with the fireballs. Meld it off. Okay, looks like 1 dot into my rift. This is also a great dungeon for poison dispels. So I would say as the healer, if you're getting into a run that doesn't have a poison dispel, I would say something in party. You never want to fail a key due to the comp. That's definitely a skill set, is forming the right type of group. Okay, let's see. 2 dots. To the rift. Just got PI. There goes PI. Switching targets for my dots. Still not super happy with the way nameplates stack. Makes it hard to see all of them, so like, you know, if I'm trying to hunt for executes, they kind of all stack on the same pixel and I can't really see. Okay, so we have to watch our feet. Good idea to attack the links. Evangelism. Fade because I'm picked. And into my torment spells. Also mentioned it in the past, I use focus targeting to attack the big mob. So my Void Blast, no matter who I'm attacking, will always go into my focus. In that case, it was the links. Whoops. And then my penance and my death are free to attack my target. Those are best selectively picked. Okay, let's see. Handful of dots just while we're gathering. The best thing I can do here is rift. Yeah, like right here, I'd like to get one of those executes. I can kind of see them, but there's not a shot in hell I can click them. Okay, I kind of dropped the ball there on heals. I had my rift out. We had group-wide damage. And the collapse happened with 0 atonements in group. So, whoops. Let's see. A couple torments for the help. Okay, I have PI and Evangelism. Off myself since some party was behind me. Alright, this next boss I think goes pretty well. 0 deaths. There's a 2-target cleave that leaves a dot behind. Good idea to shield those people. Mainly have to just dance the whole fight. We have frontals, we have tornadoes that circle around. And other than that, I'm kind of just full sending my damage. Couple spot heals there. Yeah, and you really got to move out of those attacks. They'll mess you up, and this Warlock is about messed up. Having a hard time, to be honest. I think I end up giving him a pain sup just to help recover. Yep. And a defensive penance. Don't really like doing those, but it's as needed basis. That is your best single target heal to give a penance directly into somebody. Okay, I also have Evangelism. Let's see how I play it. Okay, I'm picked, so full defense, fade, and desperate prayer. And move quick. Here goes my Evangelism, extra heals, extra torments. Couple spot heals on those that are selected. PI's coming up too. Let's see how well I play it. There it is. Okay, so I have a Void Shield. I just got it to 10 and dropped. 10 of Wheel and Woe, I mean. Execute, got a free pet. All I have is Fade. We're going to use it. Oh, Barrier 2. Radiance. Oh. Looks like I didn't realize he died at 5%, so good to know. I should have sent one more Rift there, but I thought he was going to live longer. 5%'s all he gives us. Okay, 2 more bosses. And this was a pretty good run overall, I thought. Not perfect, but I'm definitely still learning the mechanics. There's ground damage here, there's frontals here. Other than that, I'm just full sending. Okay, just got Evangelism. I don't think I play it this late into the fight. Especially after not being locked. I'll do another Rift though. I really like the Void Shield. There's a lot I'm liking about this spec. It's fun in a lot of ways. I think my biggest critique though is a lot of our power relies in RNG. Okay, here goes my Evangelism. Yeah, the Void Shield procs. Totally random. If you're playing Voidweaver, the pet procs, random. And I keep getting locked, so I wish I knew exactly who was casting that spell. That was a forced collapse. Got the damage grab there. So let's see. I think this is a little bit bigger of a pull. I might do 3 dots. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I think I went for 3 there mainly because my Rift wasn't ready yet. Giving some extra time to dotting is a good setup. Okay, I have a Void Shield, but not a 10 on Wheel and Woe. Okay, now I have my 10. Dropped it. Yeah, so I'm using the actual built-in cooldown tracker. You see it right above my player. I'm pretty much just tracking that Wheel and Woe. I like to combo a 10 stack with that Void Shield, you know. Oh, I lost my dots there. It's okay. Oh, missed some torments too. Okay, I think we have a death here. No fault of my own, I don't think. Okay, here goes Evangelism. Paints up on the tank. And I don't know these trash pulls too well yet in my attempts to time this key. The trash in the back half of the dungeon is, you know, what I know least, obviously. It looked like there's a big AoE group hit there. Arguably could be a great place for barrier. I compensated with Evangelism. And that was a really nice death before my rift. I got that pet out for 2 extra torments. Okay, I have PI. There it is. Watching for bleeds and party. Okay, here's a barrier. Not the best barrier. Looks like that attack is eating the whole thing up. So the bleeds here, my take on them is they're not too substantial. It looks like my group healing is plenty to keep them up. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good with catching executes. It's just my RNG for proccing a pet is non-existent. Better than Oracle, though. There's a free pet. Oof. And that collapse was a miss. Okay, I think this is where I thought we had deaths. Let's see how this pull goes. Definitely want to attack the big guy. Spreading my dots, waiting for my spells. Evangelism straight into Rift. Good thing because we had that AoE fire attack. It looked like it was pro-timed, but honestly that was just luck. But yeah, something about these pulls, important to note, they do a big AoE group hit at the beginning. Death, then Penance, hoping for a pet. Did not get one. Okay, this boss, he does a chase mechanic, not too big of a deal. I don't fully know the cadence of the damage, so let's see if we can learn it here together. So the Reckless Leap coming up is a hit followed by a dot. Great place for defensives, external defensives. Okay, so it was on the lock that time. This mechanic, you have to stack the purple. Grip that guy in. You have to stack the purple until it's white, and that's how you're safe. No damage there, though. Okay, let's see if we can get back to learning the damage cadence. Okay, so that is a group-wide hit right before the chasing. And a good thing to do here, since our dots are so important, and you see I switched targets, I'm putting my torments in the adds, and I'm penancing the adds for extra dots, extra healing. Quick execute and a free pet. Got lucky. Okay, so selected. I use Fade and Desperate Prayer. And here goes Evangelism. Ooh, ouch. Okay, so all you have to do is stack with someone. You don't have to stack in the full party. Okay, here comes another leap. Then after that is the intimidating shout. Let's see what happens. Okay, that bellow. Yeah, I'm going to have to watch this back to kind of understand it better myself. But I hope in giving anyone who's watching this a sample of what the fight looks like, you can kind of start to decipher it yourself. But again, tormenting the adds, Penencing the adds for the dot spread. And just don't get hit. Okay, we have a rampage coming up here. Let's see what the rampage is. Rampage is a tank buster. Reckless Leap is a single target on party. And then Intimidating Shout is next. Gave him a pinch up there. Okay, so the Intimidating Shout is the stack. And I have PI. Oh, I just used it. That was probably late. Collapsed it early and got the hit. Okay, so notes for self. I need to go back and find which attacks do the group-wide hit. Those are good places for barrier. Okay, final boss. It's all about taking these little feathers that go on the ground. The main one is jumping over the wave, but also the little feathers on the ground clear your dot. So the feathers have two purposes here. Other than that, we just gotta pump heals. And I'm trying to reserve my rift here for a second, just to make sure it lines up with the damage. Okay, so here goes the rift. Okay, here are the arrows. I call them feathers, but they're arrows. We all have dots right now. It clears. Okay, so this is the leap mechanic, and this is a pretty good kill, not perfect. I think I'm the only one that died. So here goes the Evangelism. And I like having heals on top of this mechanic. Okay, clearing my dot. And I'm giving myself a body and soul there. I think you have enough time to not take a speed boost. Okay, this is a 3-target cleave. Use Fade on myself. Okay, this is a single target attack. I go full out on defense, Desperate Prayer, and Paints Up. PI's on the mage. Okay, and I think this is where I die. I just didn't time my jump right. Might have been the next one. Yeah, I just like missed it and died. Oops. But we do kill this boss, not to worry. We have a battle res, but I think we down it with 4 people. One critique is maybe res quicker. Always good to check where you're resing to. So for example, right there, if I didn't check, I would have died. Okay, we have Evangelism, but instead of throwing it full send for damage, I'm trying to play it a little smarter here and use it for the healing. Got an extra pet there for some extra heals. Got lucky. Okay. Paints up the lock. He's getting the single target. Two pets out tormenting. Feels pretty good. And down. So I'm at like 3,200, 3,268 now. I'm only doing 15, so I take that back. I've done 116. And Voidweaver, I just don't think is that bad. You know, people might like the other one. I say it's boring. Looking at my damage, I'm at 41.8. I know it's not that much compared to the others, but I kind of just like this playstyle, and that's what I'm doing. And I think that it kind of goes to show no matter what spec or class or build you're playing, as long as you min-max it, there's room to have fun with it. And yeah, so anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys, and until next time, Disc out.